Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live. Talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynncullenshow@gmail.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
Oh yeah, here I am. A little bit of difficulty there getting things going this morning, but here we are, and it's April 9, and it's a Tuesday, which is a Sue's Day, and Susan should be there. Hello?
I'm here. I'm
Good.
here.
Good.
You have no idea how good it is.
Why?
Oh, it's just been one calamity after another
Oh.
here in the Midwest, but we're fine.
Well, okay. And by Midwest, where are you? Are you in Chicago?
I'm in Chicago for the moment. I'm heading back to Green Bay on Thursday.
Okay.
And that's part of the calamity story, because right after the calamities ended, I was sitting on the edge of my bed in Green Bay, taking a deep breath, and I felt something go plop on my tongue, and it was like a gold onlay just rocketed out of my mouth.
Excuse me? Something with a gold inlay. You had gold in your tooth? And it
my
fell
teeth
out?
Uh-huh.
Oh, God, teeth. Yeah. Well.
So that's why I'm going back to Green Bay on Thursday, because I can't get anyone to see me here, and I've got to see my dentist there.
All right. So calamities.
Mm-hmm.
I have to probably bore people silly, including you, by telling you about my day yesterday. Okay? Is that okay?
Okay.
I'm sorry about it. I'm sorry, but I just have to. So after,
I think I'm sorry about it too, but go tell us, please.
No, it's the I hate to even say it, the eclipse. The eclipse. Despite the fact that I said I wasn't into it, after the show yesterday, I jumped in my car. I picked up my friend Tony, who had been even more saying, I don't want to, whatever. And the two of us took off to the west. And everything that we'd been told us there was no way we were going to get to where we had to go. And in fact, initially, it appeared that way. We were in an unbelievable traffic jam just trying to get the hell out of the Pittsburgh area. And then we got smart and peeled off and did country roads. And no one else did. We were driving through western Pennsylvania, heading toward Ohio, and going through little places, and we didn't see another human being, let alone a car. It was almost creepy. And we were going, and to make a long story short, we made it. We got into what we knew would be the totality zone well before.
Cool.
I know. But what I can't believe is how come nobody else did that? They were all stuck on the turnpike.
Well, there's a short answer to that, but I will be kind and not say it.
Okay. Well, I do have to say that
I always abandon highways for country roads, but that's part about, or side streets, but that's part of living in Chicago. You go, oh, well, through this, and you take a different way. But a lot of people don't know how to take another way.
Well, admittedly, we had, things that helped us. And it was one thing trying to help us that suggested. And so why are we the only one of those things, this one was Waze, suggested to get the hell off the turnpike and head toward the Pittsburgh airport, Newcastle. I'm thinking, no. And right up until the time where we had to make that choice, I I was thinking, no, no. And then I thought, yeah. And it turned out to be the right thing. But it was mind blowing how quiet it was. There was literally nobody anywhere, not a car. It was creepy. The only thing we saw were animals, dead and alive. I mean, there's more roadkill than I've ever seen in my life. Every 5 seconds, there was another dead, squashed animal in the road, on the side of the road. And then we passed, and there were horses, and they were lying down in the grass. You never see horses lying in the grass when you're driving by, do you?
Sure.
No, they're always standing. We took that as an ominous sign. The thing is, you get crazy.
Wait, I want to interrupt for a second. Did you even have glasses?
Yes,
Okay.
I did. And so
Okay.
there were a lot of impeach Biden signs that we also saw, which I was not surprised, because anytime you're out there in the, where all the animals, dead and alive, are, you get impeach Biden signs. We never passed for an hour, never passed a gas station, a place where we could maybe get a little, some water or anything. It was weird. And then just when
all business has gone to right off the highway.
Whoa.
That's why all these little towns are dying.
Right. I mean, it was unbelievable. We saw one Family Dollar in the middle of nowhere. Weird. Anyway, that in itself was sort of interesting. I would never have, I mean, off the beaten track, right?
Right.
And then we started to worry because it was getting close to when this stuff was supposed to begin. And also, we were starving to death. And I said, well, if we can just find any place where we could possibly get something to eat, I'm dying. And then out of the blue, we see it. The North Benton Dairy Bar, a little shack of a place sitting on the side of the road. And I made a hard left and got into their gravel parking lot. And that's where we stayed. And what a trip that place turned out to be. So,
of course it was. You walked in. Then what happened?
No, you couldn't walk in. It was one of those places where you get.
Oh, you ordered at the window. Yeah.
So
okay.
we went up to the window. There was one family there. They seemed to be eating. There was another woman there who seemed to be waiting. And I poked my head in the window, and there was a little old man. That's all there was, this little old man. And he was running here and running there. And I said to the woman who appeared to be waiting, have you been waiting long? She said, uh-huh. And finally he sees me and he says, I'll be with you in a minute. Well, that was, so 10 minutes later he comes back. What do you need? And I said, well, I'm looking at his menu. I said, I'll have a hot dog. He said, I don't have any. I said, okay. I forget what else I said. He didn't have anything, but he had ice cream. We ended up eating tons of ice cream. He didn't have, I said, could I have a Diet Coke? He said, I don't have any drinks. So here's a guy, and then he started apologizing. He said, I'm hoping the hot dogs come in the next few hours. He said, I don't normally, I've been closed all winter. Anyway, so we're there, and yeah, but so anyway, it was, the food was horrible. I mean, we did get one burger. It was beyond belief horrible. And then the eclipse started, and we were sitting there at the little table he had outside, and seeing it. And then a car drove up, and these 5 kids got out, and it turns out they were from Pittsburgh. and they were from Carnegie Mellon. And wow,
Yeah.
did we have fun with them. So it was wild. We ended up having a ball, and they had one pair of glasses, 5 people, one pair of glasses. We had 2, so we were, sharing them back and forth. And then a truck pulled in, and somebody said, "The hot dogs." And I'm thinking, yes, the hot dogs. But it wasn't. It was a guy who got out of the truck and went over to one of
To
those.
watch the.
No. Went over to one of those things that, you put clothes in, a clothes collection thing for charity.
Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah.
went there, opened it up, and started taking bags out. And then after he was done with that, I saw he had some glasses, and he came sort of over to where we were. But there was somebody tagging along trying to get his ear, this big, huge guy. And I'm hearing parts of the conversation. "You got to see it. There's just this X. And on one part of the X is a community called Nineveh. You know about Nineveh, right? But on the other is Rapture." And it became very clear that this nutcase thought that the rapture was coming because of the eclipse.
The eclipse. Right.
So this added just perfectly to the collection of humanity that was there. And he then turned to us all and said, "Do you believe that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior?" Nobody said yes. Not. People started looking at the ground. We were like, "Oy." And he went on, "This is the end days. This is a sign. You realize that. Do you realize Jesus was born 2024 years ago?" And I almost started singing Happy Birthday. But I thought, oh gosh, this is perfect, but please. And
he might drive a stake through your heart. Yeah, don't do that.
He would not be stilled. It was a riot. And because we all sort of did not engage him, eventually, astonishingly, he seemed to
wandered
disappear.
Away. Yeah.
Although my friend later thought she saw him behind the dairy bar smoking a joint.
Well, he had to calm himself down. Oh, dear. Well, so, okay, after all of that, what did you think of the eclipse? Were you as moved as everybody else?
It didn't change my life, but I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I went because I can see why, unless you're doing the totality, it's not all that. I mean, it never gets that dark. It's only when that.
No, although the quality of light around Chicago really dramatically changed.
Okay, well, the quality of light clearly, but man, when it goes total, it's awesome. It really is awesome. And amazingly, the minute it did, there was a sound. Crickets started immediately. It was like, oh, guess it's night. And it was just immediate crickets. One of the CMU guys was facing away from the sun, and somebody said, "Hey, wait, here, you need the glasses?" He said, "No, I find this light." He was more taken by the way everything looked in the light or lack thereof, and was blown away by that. But yeah, it was pretty. And the little guy in the dairy bar shack, he stayed in there. I could see him the whole time. He was sort of looking out his window, which was away from everything. And I'm thinking, wouldn't he even be curious enough to and he
Come
wasn't.
out.
I don't know. But we took pictures of each other, all us folks, and we ended up talking. And I'm thinking, what a wonderful cross section of humanity there was. One of the people, the kids, was French, and there was every race, and in the middle of nowhere. So it was pretty neat. And then, as soon as the totality ended, I said, let's go. And we jumped in the car and raced back on country roads, and I was home by 5. No traffic.
Good for you.
I know.
Well,
All this
yeah, my
doomsaying.
son had planned, but he like you said, I don't need 4 minutes of totality. 2 minutes is fine, so I don't need to drive as far as all these other people think they are. So he drove over into Indiana, I think, and stopped in a little town this side of Indianapolis, and then they found a park and got there at noon. Got there at 9, and he parked his car right next to the park exit, which was located right next to the highway. They they did what they came to do, headed straight to their car, and were back in their house 2 hours and 45 minutes later.
Yeah.
He said he was amazed. The people that they were with watching it, who were their neighbors, who attempted to leave at the same time but hadn't planned thusly, made it home 2 hours later.
Yeah. I was just talking to somebody this morning who went up to Erie to see it, and it took him 6 hours to get home. They said leave. I'm thinking of all the media attention and advice. And here's another thing I thought of last night. Wait a minute. So about 100 million people were looking at that thing. A whole bunch of them. No, here's what I thought. So there have been these eclipses in the past. And before there was media around to scare the crap out of people about burning their eyeballs, right? So I'm thinking, so after these eclipses in the past,
a bunch of people went blind.
Yes, there had to have been unbelievable numbers, especially like in the Middle Ages and beyond. Everybody would have gone blind, right? Well, wrong. Right. There is no evidence of that at all. So here's what I want to say. I think they scared the crap out of everybody for not a lot of reason. If, in fact, that a lot of people looked at that thing, it's no different than looking at the sun right now. Go, take a little peek.
Right, which you can only do for a second before you think to yourself, stupid.
Yeah, because, ow, this is not pleasant, and I can't really... And what happens is because of the eclipse, it's a little easier to do that. Not quite as much light coming at you. And so more damaging. But the fact of the matter is, I think in reality, you'd have to sit and stare open-eyed at it for 5-10 minutes. And no one's... Because otherwise, there should be blind people all over the country today. It doesn't happen. It is rare. When I was driving, I had CNN on my radio, and Wolf Blitzer was like apoplectic, talking to somebody saying, "And don't bring your dog with you because, or make sure your dog has glasses on." And I'm thinking, oh, for God's sake.
Dogs are smarter than us. I've never seen a dog looking at the sun, not once.
I know. So, God. So anyway, it's overhyped, as unsurprisingly, overhyped. Okay, Susan, I have a quote for you. Here it is.
Okay.
Every life has some element of frustration, loneliness, rejection, mistreatment, misunderstanding, raw deals, disappointment, disaster, and dream crushing. And after that comes Tuesday. That's a good quote for Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But what does it mean? That you can do it all again and soul crushing and then comes Wednesday? Or is that a hopeful statement, like it's all over by Tuesday?
No, it's just saying that's life. You know,
Well, of course it's life.
What are we thinking? It's just life. Who said, I never promised you a rose garden, right?
Well, exactly. And I just always say, if you haven't been miserable a good portion of your life, you simply haven't lived.
Or, I mean, how do you even, well, I don't know. You understand things by putting them in relation to other things, right?
Other things.
Right.
Like, well, I was reading about, it doesn't matter what I was reading about, but yes, I mean, to the extent that happiness is really simply the absence of unhappiness.
Well,
you know?
Yeah. And
if you're walking around feeling fine, you don't go, oh, I'm happy, I'm not happy, I'm just feeling fine. But if you're miserable, you know what you're not.
True. I agree. We have a caller. I can't imagine why, but we do.
I can't either.
Okay. Hello.
Save us.
Wasn't that Tony, Orlando, and Dawn?
I hope not.
I hope not too.
What a blast from the past.
Oh gosh, I listened to that on my dad's 8-track cassette.
Oh,
but I think that song didn't get bumped in between tracks, so I got it in complete totality.
You did?
No.
Oh, you were talking about
songs. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What's that?
Listen, you're not helping at all.
No, let him talk. Okay.
So I've been out that direction for job sites the back way, and it is a beautiful drive.
Yeah.
And when you stop at places and everything, it's beautiful. The people are super polite.
Yeah.
But they put up the nastiest signs.
I know.
It's like, wait, are you schizophrenic or?
No. It's interesting because those are like the nice people. You meet them, they're nice, and yet, And I was thinking about some of the, oh my God, these are like probably all Trump voters. Geez. But that was one of the nice things about this. That was one of the nice things about this event, because you ended up getting out of the usual and maybe rubbing elbows with people you otherwise don't and doing something together. This is good. I mean, even the Jesus Freak guy was perfect. It was just perfect. Cue the Jesus Freak guy. We're perfect.
Unfortunately, I'm in these situations a lot. And like we were down in Southern Maryland, and my wife and daughter, it was.
Susan, are you there at least? Son of a bitch. Are you guys there?
I can hear him. You can't. Okay.
No.
Go ahead. Hello.
I said, all right, yeah. I can hear you.
Now I can hear. I just got this thing that popped up and said your internet connection is unstable.
No, we could hear all along. Go ahead. You and your wife are in Maryland.
Yeah, and our daughter and her wife were down in Southern Maryland for family reunion.
Right.
We had to stop off at the store, and I said, look, you're going to have to watch your PDAs here a little bit. And, and my daughter-in-law, she's from Montreal and Toronto. And she says, nobody's going to tell me what to do. And I said, look, I just don't want to get beat up. It's just, and she was just, but that's the way it is, It's like, and but these people are normally just wonderful, friendly people. Now I'm the right color and I'm the right gender, but I guess that has a lot to do with it as well. But it's an interesting experience, like you had yesterday.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for the call.
All right. Okay. Well, here comes the big. We're going to have a big test when she hangs up. I'm thinking.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, Suze, are you still there?
I am.
Good. Then that worked.
We get it's scary.
It is. It's like Russian roulette here.
Right. My son got his usual beautiful picture of the total eclipse, which was fun.
Yeah. It was amazing. I mean, it really was. And I took my glasses off and looked straight, when you can do that when the...
No, you're allowed to do that. Yeah.
And it is, it is just mind-blowing. It is. And anybody who doesn't... the moon and the sun are like pretty important in our lives. And for them,
they control a lot. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we can't exist without them. And so the lining up of these two things happening. I don't know. I just I'm glad I did it. I really am. I had nothing else to do. So there's.
Well, I was stuck here feeling sorry for myself, but I just went up on my roof and took a slotted spoon and saw what I could see. Yeah. And it was fine.
So I came upon this, and I want to. What drew me was the fact that this person shares a name with our brother, Susan. This is a guy named William Miller. Why can't I find this thing?
Well, to be honest, that's not
a common name,
unusual name. Yeah,
a common name, but. I guess I never knew this. There was a William Miller who was a Baptist preacher. And in 1831, this William Miller, somewhere in New York, upper New York state, began to spread the word that the second coming was imminent. And I was drawn to this because of the guy at the dairy bar who thought we were all about to get raptured. And this guy, William Miller, kept telling his neighbors, what a pest. That's sort of what I was thinking. What a pest.
Go away.
Yeah. But he kept telling them, Christ's coming. He's coming back. And then he set the date. Now, that's always a problem.
A bad idea. Yeah.
Think of all the people who've set a date, right? Have any of the and then I don't know.
And then Tuesday comes.
Yes, and then Tuesday comes. Well, his date was October 22nd, 1844. But we know Jesus didn't show. And he had disciples by that point. Did they, tell him, you idiot, you nincompoop, how stupid are we to have listened to you? No. They called it the Great Disappointment.
I think that's when a daughter brings home the wrong guy.
Yeah. Capital G, capital D, the Great Disappointment. And it didn't dissuade or discourage them from their apocalyptic, worldview, which is sort of like, again, it's sort of like, the Trump cult. You can throw reality at them left, right, and center, and they don't budge. So
they're unshakable, right?
Yeah, you sign on, you sign in, you don't move. So what
Speaking of
happened?
which, his stock is nicely down again.
Oh, good. It's
just
dropping like a
I
stone.
follow it every day. It's down another 50 cents, while the market in general,
So anyway, they were called the Millerites, just so you know, and they morphed later into the Adventists, who morphed into the Seventh Day Adventists. Yeah, that was William Miller. Just want you to know.
Who rose to fame with the Great Disappointment. Boy, that's making, lemonade out of lemons.
Yeah, out of lemons, right. You would think he'd be so embarrassed and would just sort of like drift
and
away.
Chastened,
Yeah,
but
no.
It's just the Great Disappointment.
It must have been something we did. Yeah, it was us somehow, us fallible humans.
We scared him off.
Yeah, Kurt Anderson, that smart intellectual guy. I'm never quite sure what he does, but I saw like a tweet he did, and this was right after the earthquake in New York City. He said earthquake, eclipse, Antichrist running for president. So that, you can see why people are thinking it's the end times. Earthquake in New York, solar eclipse of the sun, and the Antichrist running for president. Yeah. And a lot of people
by which they mean Biden, of course. I'm going, boy, that I had to remind myself they didn't mean Trump.
No, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I got a call here, Suze. Hang on.
Okay, fingers crossed.
Hello? 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 Wait, hang on. I'm trying it again. Hello?
Okay, that time it worked.
Okay.
Oh,
Hi, Clarence.
I wait for the beep. I'm going hello, but if it doesn't go beep, I don't talk until I hear the beep. Then I know I'm on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to sound strange, but I was actually raptured yesterday, which surprised me since I'm,
well, that's interesting.
No,
that is so interesting because one of these CMU students looked at me and said, I want you to look at my clothes because in just a little while, they will be in a pile at your feet. He was suggesting he was intending
going to get naked.
He was going to get raptured. No, he was going to get. I said, you mean when you get raptured, you lose your clothes? He said, I think so. And then that got everybody into, well, wait a minute. You mean you arrive in heaven naked? And he said, well, I think they give you a robe and some wings. This is the...
see, he was telling a joke. I'm dead serious.
Oh,
I was raptured.
If you were raptured, why are you calling?
Actually,
yeah, okay.
I'm going to explain that.
Okay.
Well, because, I'm basically an atheist, everybody was wrong. The actual flying spaghetti monster is in heaven. Now, why am I back? I didn't say cheese. I refused to say cheese. Now I'm waiting for the antipasta.
I should have known. I thought, oh my God, Clarence was actually moved for a change, but no.
That was a joke I wrote on Facebook, and I said, that's not a bad joke. Waiting for the antipasta. The flying spaghetti monster. I didn't say cheese.
Did you know I refuse to laugh? I hope you are aware. I refuse to laugh.
That's why I do these stuff. Now this is that's not serious either. But you were talking about going through those country roads, and that guy was talking about going down somewhere. That's like a big fear for us black folks.
Oh, I bet.
I'm sure.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, every once in a while.
I have to tell you, that reminds me of a story where I found myself on back roads. This would be in the 80s near Vidalia, Georgia. And I was in a car with a black man who was driving.
Oh, geez.
Yes. And
driving Miss Crazy. Go ahead.
He was scared. He was scared. Why were we there? He was a photographer for WTAE. I was a reporter, and we had been flown down, and then we're heading toward Mel Blunt's ranch in Vidalia, Georgia. And we were really in Nowheresville. And when we checked into the motel we were staying at, he said, you go in first. We're not going. I mean, he was scared shitless the entire time.
Yeah, there was, because I drive around, to go draw caricatures in places. I was doing a wedding down near Waynesburg, one of those barn weddings. Beautiful place. So I turn on my GPS, and I'm like driving. This is one of those roads where somebody's coming in the other direction. One of you got to die. It was like basically a 1-lane road. Going through it, there were like horses going, Negro. Cows are going, coo, coo. Trees are rubbing their branches together. Now, but when I got there, I asked the dude who parked the cars, I said, what's that road right there? He goes, oh, that goes right to Rainbow. This GPS took me all these back roads, and I didn't understand it until I looked at what kind it was. It was an Uncle Tom Tom.
Oh, for God's sake.
The story's true. The Uncle Tom Tom isn't right. That's not true.
Oh, my God.
I actually came up with that joke. Remember that time we went to see whoever that was at that, what was it, somewhere in Homestead? What's her name? Katie's friend. Remember, there was a whole group of us old Lynn Cullen people at a comedy show years ago.
Oh,
do you remember
yeah. That wasn't that long ago. That was Katie's boyfriend was doing stand-up, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So last time I saw you.
Joke, I think, that's true. Geez, that is a long time. You should invite me to dinner or something. I would invite you to dinner, but you're the rich one. So anyway.
Boy, you're begging for it today, Clarence. That's all I have to say.
Hey, so it's amazing. It's amazing what the eclipse does to the brain. that first line I said, I don't even think she heard it because you laughed. Did you hear it, Lynn?
What?
Huh?
No, I guess I didn't. I was reading an email. I'm sorry. I got too many things happening.
No, there was a line when you were talking about going down to Georgia. You were in a car with a black man. I said, driving Miss Crazy. You didn't hear it.
No, Clarence, I'm your best audience. Give up on her.
Oh, God. Oh,
but you wish
Lord.
I was dead, huh? But
well, you're in rare form today. Maybe the eclipse did something to you. I don't know.
Yeah, he's been locked up for too long.
Yeah, this is true. No, it really is. It's the lockup is, because it's a nice, warm, sunny day.
Yeah.
Instead of like a cloudy, cold, miserable day. Yeah, that does do something to me.
It does. It does. Yeah. It makes you giddy.
Yeah.
Right? Roger, the thing I was reading said, when Clarence said he was raptured yesterday, I thought maybe he was bragging about having sex.
Well,
now there's a joke.
Now, in my world, it's not me; it's the other person. So.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh God! Now he's turned into a man, for crying out loud.
Barely.
Well. Anyway. anyway. So
All right.
there's that. So you made no effort to look at the eclipse?
Look at the eclipse.
No, I didn't. You know, it's one of those things where I thought I could see a partial from my house. You know, you can see partials. I didn't see any of that. Like I'm like on Facebook, I'm like that they're in this. Why are they seeing partial eclipses and I'm not? You know, they're like in the same like what the heck. So I took a couple of pictures. But it was just basically the sun, you know, not looking at the sun, but aiming my cell phone towards the sun.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, it was. You know, there was nothing. I got a chemtrail though. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw a lot of.
If you were trying to, you know, Clarence, if you were trying to take pictures on your phone, what you had to do is zoom way in after you've taken the picture, and then you'll see the teeniest of a little black dot. Your camera on your phone is not capable of doing it. And my daughter-in-law sent me a picture taken from her camera where she says the only way you can even see the moon is if you zero right in, you go right in, and then you see a little, you know, it looks like a breast with a, you know, a white breast with a black nipple is what it looked like. And she said this is what the camera sees at the same time that my son was taking a picture properly with the proper filters and lenses, and he got a total eclipse.
Right. You need a certain lens.
Oh, well.
You need money.
So there was a reason for that, is what I'm saying. No, he rented it.
Okay,
he doesn't buy all these lenses.
I wonder what happens if you were to take the picture through the glasses.
Yeah,
that's what he did, actually.
Yeah.
That is what he did. He just taped those over his over the specialized lens.
Yeah.
Which was, you know, which was a zoom kind of a lens to get a close up of the event, and then he just taped glasses, you know, the glass material over it.
Oh crap! Now I have to live for another 120 years. So
yeah, well.
All right. That's it.
Okay, cross our fingers.
You take your stupid puns and your jokes.
No, the GPS, the Uncle Tom is a funny joke.
Well, there you had a few.
I would have.
I'm
when
sure.
I really do it, I don't say Negro. I use the word.
Yeah, I know. I could hear your editing.
All right, you.
All right.
Good to hear from you.
Cross our fingers. Here we go again.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. No, I think I got this, Suze. I think I do.
I think you do too. Okay.
I see what I did that other time. Hello, this is another caller, maybe. I don't know. Hello?
Yes. Hey,
Hi.
Mary from Murraysville.
Oh, hi, Mary.
Mary from Murraysville.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I love Clarence. It's a banner day when he calls.
Yeah.
Driving Miss crazy. That is just brilliant. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about why the world is ending, or all fun is over in this world. This last weekend, I was in Dayton at the Irma Bombeck Writers Conference. And writers drink a lot, so I was at the bar. And the young girls don't know this, but at any good bar, the hooks are under the bar to hang your purse.
Yes,
of course.
So I looked under there to hang my purse, and there was like a charging port and an electrical outlet, like everyone marching down the bar for your phone. When you're in a bar, you're supposed to be being thankful for your beer and maybe chatting up some people. We're just so addicted. It made me sad.
Yeah.
Well,
got to be plugged
maybe they weren't looking, just charging.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
No, and there were no hooks.
Yeah, anyway.
No hooks?
Yeah, there were hooks.
Oh, there were hooks
Any
and
good bar has hooks. Yeah, it was at the Dayton Marriott. Yeah. So
what the hell is the Irma
anyway,
Bombeck
that's the first time I've seen that.
Wait, Mary, what's the Irma Bombeck for humor writers, female humor writers?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, it's the only humor writers conference in the nation. So this was my first time going. I've gotten into stand-up, and I learned a heck of a lot, and I got to perform on the last night there. And
what?
So I really enjoyed it.
You've gotten
Very
into
cool.
You're doing stand-up?
Yeah, just as a hobby right now. I go to open mics around town, and I auditioned for, they call it the Irma's Got Talent comedy Irma's Got Talent comedy, something, I don't know. Anyway, I auditioned with 12 other people online about, at the end of February. They picked 4. They picked me. So.
Oh, mazel tov. That's wonderful.
Well, wait a minute.
It's a cheap hobby.
What got into you? I mean, you're a woman of a certain age, right? You're not a kid.
Yeah, 57,
okay.
Right?
And you decided you needed.
Is she not old enough?
No, you decided you needed humiliation and rejection in your life?
No, she decided she needed adventure and something new.
Yeah. 2.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, follicular lymphoma, and I'm like, oh shit, I better do what I want to do.
Wow.
So that was my butt, and it's not that bad. Like, like if you don't, the key is not to care. You know, I mean, when I go to these bars, it's all young guys getting high, which is fine, and I do my housewife material, and you know, if it's good, people will look up from their phones and. I have one bit about Penthouse magazine that gets everybody all riled up, but it's a cheap hobby. It's fun. It gives you confidence.
That is so great.
I think it's wonderful.
That is so great.
We're just impressed.
Yeah, and there was another comic there hosting. She was a teacher, and she's 72. She's been doing it since she was 37. And one of her opening lines is, "I'm happy to be me, tampon free."
I didn't get the second line. Wait, happy to be
tampon free. I'm happy to be me. Tampon free.
Ain't that the truth?
Oh, yeah, underrated. Yeah.
You know, I'm always shocked.
When
if you're with a young person and they say something about their period, I'm always sort of shocked. I completely, I forgot that those things happen and how. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was, you hear the phrase locker talk. When I was playing basketball in the locker room, that's all we talked about. Was it coming? Was it here? We didn't even have white shorts. We were just affected.
Yeah, well, it was affecting.
Yeah, it can, in sports, it's hard. But anyway, I just was mad about the phone chargers under the bar. And Clarence's driving Miss Crazy is brilliant.
Yes, and we went right over that to being just impressed. Because I've always called myself sort of a performance artist, but I only work with audiences of one, and they're like at the checkout counter or
right?
sitting next to me, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just never brave enough to stand up and tell my stories to a group.
Well, that's everybody, but if you go to open mic and you do a set, I'm not going to say that it's welcoming, but the other guys respect you,
Mm-hmm.
So when you go up, you're not ad-libbing at all. You've worked this out. You got a routine.
No, she's got a set.
Yeah.
No, I memorize my bits, and most people don't have a bit. They try to do crowd work, and, the people in the bars have worked all day. They're tired. Their attitude is make me laugh. They don't want to engage. And so they try to do crowd work so they can go viral.
Oh, for God's sake, what a world.
That's beyond us.
I've heard very few good jokes, like a joke. But there's one guy, I can't think of his name. There's a couple guys, I could see them making it. They're on the come up.
Really? Wow.
Really? Yep.
Well, I'm so impressed. Girls. Let me know if you're ever doing it around here. I'll try to get some folks together. We'll come and see you, and we'll laugh heartily.
Okay. That's kind of you. My goal is, since I have cancer, to get on like the charity circuit, be a speaker there and the ladies groups and things. I don't want to do clubs.
Okay.
Every female comedian, no.
How's the cancer going?
Oh, good. I'm what they call NED, no evidence of disease. You always have it, but it's too small for the machines to pick up, so it's as good as it can be. I finished 2.5 years of treatment, and my scans are good.
Well,
that's wonderful.
Glad. Good.
That's wonderful.
Good.
So, and you're doing exactly the right thing for your health, your head, and your life. It's perfect.
I think so.
Yeah.
It was kind of a confidence builder, and it's a cheap.
Well, and it gives you joy, and you're living your life, and I think those things are so important in the treatment of the diseases of which you have one of.
Yeah, there's nothing better than standing in a room. I was performing in front of over 300 people at the conference, and I had them laughing, and that's the purpose-driven life, right?
Oh no, there's nothing better. I agree.
Yeah.
I love making people laugh too, but wow. I mean, it shows what a different mindset I have. That my sense, you look at it as it boosts your confidence. My sense would be that if people weren't like laughing constantly, it would, endanger any confidence. That's why I said something about humiliation and rejection. And you're positive as you go into it and seeing the positives. I am such a negative.
Yeah, person. I mean, the worst thing that I haven't bombed, but the worst thing that happens is they get out their phones and don't pay attention. I've never been booed. I'm fine with it. I mean, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, well, cool.
Yeah.
Totally impressive.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing all
Thank
that.
You.
Appreciate it.
Sure. And the Irma Bombeck Writers Conference is really excellent. If you're interested in writing, it's next time. It's every other year. It'll be in March 2026, and it costs about $500, and then they'll give you a room for $145. So
cool. Okay.
And you met a lot of.
That's the deets.
Did you meet a lot of interesting women?
Yes. Yeah, women who are tired taking shit. Yeah.
Well,
they're all over
the place. That's a small group.
Yeah, you don't have to travel or pay $500 to get around women like that.
Just ring my doorbell.
Yeah,
yeah. There was a girl from Alaska there. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
Well, thanks. Well, really, thanks for the call. That was just wonderful. Great to hear from you.
Take care. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
My gosh.
No, that just I just admire the hell out of someone that goes, well, maybe I should just do that, and
yeah.
I never had the nerve to, and clearly it was one of my skills.
I once, as a bit, when I was a TV reporter, I did a set at the comedy club at here, one of the comedy clubs here. And it was, I was just getting material so I could put it together about, this is me trying to, I would do different jobs. And this was one where I did that. And I gotta tell you, even though and it was a full house and people, and they no more wanted to hear me than, I was taking up their time. But I had worked on some stuff that I thought was, good stuff. And oh my God, it is the first time I understood the phrase flop sweat. I don't know if you ever heard the phrase flop sweat.
Oh, yeah.
But I felt that it even felt like my shoes were filling with water. I was sweating so much. I got dry mouth so bad that I actually bent over from the stage and grabbed some guy's beer off the table and took a swig. I thought I was going to die.
Did that get a laugh?
I don't think so. It was a nightmare. A nightmare. Oh my God. And, it's not like I'm not used to being in front of people, but that's a different crowd. And oh, wow, that was brutal. I'd forgotten about that. That was like one of those traumatic events you just don't even want to
revisit. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
No, you don't want to. Okay, so what else I got here? What do we got here? Anything?
I got nothing.
Okay, but you think Trump is going to that trial will start Monday?
I do. My feeling about all of this court stuff is I am very well aware of how the pace of court goes anyway. In the best of times, it's not zip, zip, zip. So and the election absolutely should not and will not hinge on any of this. So, the two things need to be separated.
Yeah.
We have to do our job. We have to, and that's to make sure that he doesn't get elected. And the courts will do their job. But to expect the courts to do our job, first of all, it won't work because it's not going to change a vote. You know, and it's not the purpose. The voting part is our job. So I'm not worried about it. I think it's a good case. And I think when each of these cases gets to court, he's going to lose and lose big.
Well, but again, given our system, losing big by the popular vote, yes, but that doesn't count in our God.
No. I'm talking about the court cases.
Oh,
I have no idea what's going to happen in November.
He's going to lose everyone. Everyone.
Yeah.
What do you think about the judge?
It's not going to be on our timetable.
Yeah, but what do you think about the judge clearly running interference for him on the?
She's clearly running interference for him, and eventually he's going to go to the 11th Circuit and say, "Give us a new judge."
Yeah.
But he's letting her, he's letting her inch off to closer to the edge of the branch, so that when the branch falls, she dies.
Oh, my God. And, I was thinking, this poor judge Marchand, who's got the case.
Yeah.
This is a guy just doing his job. He's,
Absolutely.
And all of a sudden, he's going to be on people's hit lists.
Yep.
Well, it's just...
The guy should be in jail for contempt. That's the only problem I have with any of this. I do not know why we are getting all oopsie-doopsied about his name. He is a citizen of this country, and the rules of law apply equally to him. If he continues on this road of criminal contempt, he should be in jail.
Well, but he figures, and I think he figures correctly, that
so far
that he is above he's always been above the law, but that it's not true what we tell ourselves. There is clearly one system for us. Any of us would be in jail, but the fact that he isn't, that suggests that we mythologize about
listen, this is not news. The minute that there were two kinds of crime, white collar and blue collar, you knew that there were two kinds of justice.
Right. Although
I've said that before, and I'm saying that again.
Okay. Although Sam Bankman-Fried got 25 years.
Yeah, well, he's a stupid little Jewish rich kid. Throw him in jail.
Well, but it begs somehow some of them every once in a while do end up in jail.
Yeah, right. And they put Martha Stewart in jail too.
Yeah. And she would say, she did engage in illegal activity.
She did. She took it like a woman. She marched in, she did her time, and just like true to herself, she made her little plot in jail a better place and left it better than she found it. She was and she came out with a better reputation than she went in, which was no small feat.
Yeah, she's obviously a survivor, one hell of a survivor, doesn't quit. I just want to leave us with this dispiriting thing. I read two things today, one of which said that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is truly a danger to Biden's reelection. And then I read another that the Republicans are freaking out because they're seeing that he is a danger to Trump.
To them. I think he's
both. I mean, he's pulling votes from both.
But they each need, yes.
Yes, and there's this quote. This is beyond belief. It's a video, actually. I'll quote what she says on the video. This is Kennedy's state director in New York State. and she's talking to a bunch of New York Republicans trying to sell him to them. And here's what she said. The only way Trump can even remote possibility of taking New York is if Bobby's on the ballot. If it's Trump versus Biden, Biden wins. Biden wins 6 days, 7 days a week. With Bobby in the mix, anything can happen. The only way for Bobby to shake it up and to get rid of Biden is if he's on the ballot in every state, including New York. So she's actively talking about taking Biden down. This is Robert F. Kennedy's New York State director. And the other good news on the third party front is those yahoos for, no labels.
No namers.
no labels.
Yeah.
Couldn't even find somebody to run. They're on the ballot and there's nobody there. God.
Right. Well, they've announced that they will not run a presidential candidate, as if it was their decision. It was not their decision. No one would stand to run with them.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Well, okay. I see by the clock our time has come to an end. And
For today.
For today.
For today. Don't sound so final about it.
Okay, all right. Just for today. And all right, Suze. Thanks for being there. I hope your tooth is fixed.
Oh God. I think it's all stopped. But anyway, I think we're done with calamities, but we'll see.
Oh no,
okay,
we're not done with calamities.
Like
and then there's Wednesday. I mean, come on.
I know. I know.
Okay.
I know. I knocked on wood and everything. I didn't mean it, God. Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye. Oh yeah. I don't know. Calamities. That's called life. Last time I looked. I'm having trouble with getting this out, the theme music at the end. I'm going to try for it now, and we'll see what the hell happens. But suffice to say, I intend to be back tomorrow.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.